Welcome to the training session, Theme-Based Lesson Planning for Preschoolers, Engaging Young Learners Through Meaningful Themes. This session will explore the exciting world of theme-based lesson planning for preschoolers. This approach allows children to connect learning to topics they find interesting and meaningful. Themes provide a natural way to integrate multiple learning domains into everyday activities. Throughout this training session, we will explore practical strategies for planning, organizing, and evaluating thematic activities. By the end of the training session, you will be able to design engaging lessons that foster curiosity and exploration. Theme-based planning also supports social-emotional development by encouraging collaboration and discussion. You will learn how to select relevant themes and create developmentally appropriate activities. You will also discover ways to incorporate literacy, math, science, and creative arts into your themes. Assessment strategies will be discussed to ensure learning is intentional and measurable. The goal of this session is to make learning both fun and meaningful for every child. Keep your classroom context in mind as we go through all of the examples in this training. This training session is made possible by the Kentucky Governor's Office of Early Childhood. Before we get started, it is important to review our objectives for this training session. First, we want to understand why theme-based lesson planning is effective for preschoolers. Second, we will explore strategies for selecting themes that are meaningful and appropriate for children's development. Third, we will discuss ways to design activities that integrate multiple learning domains such as literacy, math, science, and creative arts. Finally, we will examine strategies for assessing learning while children engage in thematic activities. By the end of this training session, you should feel confident designing lessons that are both engaging and educational. These objectives will help us focus our discussion and provide practical guidance. Theme-based planning encourages exploration, creativity, and critical thinking. Each objective also aligns with best practices in early childhood education. Keeping these objectives in mind will help you plan intentionally and effectively. You will also be able to adapt these strategies to your classroom content. Theme-based lesson planning is a way of organizing learning activities around a single topic or idea. For instance, a theme might be community helpers or farm animals. By focusing on a central theme, children can explore concepts across multiple domains in a connected and coherent manner. This method helps them see relationships between different types of knowledge and experiences. Themes also encourage engagement because they often reflect children's interests and real-life experiences. They provide context, making learning more meaningful and memorable. Theme-based planning fosters curiosity, enabling children to ask questions and explore the answers. It also encourages creativity and problem solving as children interact with materials. This approach aligns with child-centered and developmentally appropriate practices. Throughout this training session, there will be examples of thematic units and activities. You can see how themes can be adapted to fit different classrooms and age groups. A theme is not just a fun idea, it's a framework for intentional learning. Theme-based planning offers many advantages for young learners. First, it promotes deeper understanding because children explore a topic in different ways over time. It encourages exploration and curiosity, helping children stay motivated and engaged. Themes naturally integrate multiple learning domains, including cognitive, social-emotional, language, and motor development. For example, a transportation theme could include counting cars for math, reading books about vehicles for literacy, and building roads with blocks for motor skills. Social-emotional development is supported as children work together and share ideas during thematic activities. Children also develop problem-solving and critical thinking skills as they explore themes. Themes allow teachers to create meaningful connections to children's lives. They provide structure while leaving room for child-led discovery. Planning around themes can make assessment more meaningful because learning is contextual. Overall, theme-based planning creates a more engaging and holistic learning experience. Children are more likely to retain knowledge when it is presented through integrated, hands-on activities. Selecting a theme is the first critical step in planning. Start by reflecting on the children's interests and the topics they naturally explore during play. Observing conversations and play patterns can give you clues about potential themes. Seasonal events or community activities also provide great opportunities for relevant themes. It is important to align your theme with curriculum goals and developmental objectives. This ensures that your activities support meaningful learning outcomes. Diversity and inclusion should also guide your theme selection, ensuring all children see themselves represented. Consider the resources and materials you have available to support the theme. A well-chosen theme should allow for flexibility and creativity. You also want it to last long enough for children to explore it in depth, at least 1 to 2 weeks. The theme should provide opportunities for both teacher-guided and child-led activities. By selecting an appropriate, meaningful theme, you set the stage for engaging and successful learning experiences. Planning a theme involves several essential steps. First, choose a theme that aligns with children's interests and your learning goals. Next, identify the learning objectives you want to achieve during the thematic unit. Decide what knowledge and skills children should gain from each activity. Then, plan activities that incorporate multiple learning domains, such as cognitive, social-emotional, language, and physical skills. Gathering materials ahead of time helps your day run smoothly and reduces stress. Organize your activities into a daily or weekly plan that balances teacher-led and child-led experiences. Ensure that materials are safe, developmentally appropriate, and culturally inclusive. Flexibility is key. Children may take the theme in directions you don't anticipate. Consider ways to extend learning through centers, small group activities, and outdoor experiences. Reflection and assessment are part of the planning process. These steps ensure that your thematic planning is intentional, engaging, and meaningful. One of the strengths of theme-based planning is the ability to incorporate all developmental domains. Cognitive skills develop when children solve problems, classify objects, and explore concepts related to the theme. Language skills develop through exposure to new vocabulary, engaging discussions, and storytelling. Social-emotional skills are strengthened as children work together, share materials, and express feelings during activities. Physical development is promoted through both fine and gross motor activities. Fine motors, such as cutting or drawing, and gross motors, such as movement games. For example, a farm theme could include counting animals for math, building barns to develop motor skills, and acting out farm roles to promote social-emotional growth. Integrating domains ensures learning is holistic and connected. Activities should include both quiet and active components to cater to diverse needs. Encourage children to express ideas through art, movement, and conversation. Multi-domain planning strengthens overall development and engagement. Consider how each activity simultaneously meets multiple goals. This approach makes learning more meaningful and memorable for children. When planning activities, it is crucial to match them to the children's developmental levels. Activities should challenge children without frustrating them. For example, 3-year-olds may enjoy sorting and counting, while 5-year-olds might be ready for simple addition and story retelling. Providing children with opportunities to make choices fosters a sense of ownership and engagement. Incorporate creativity to allow children to explore different ways of expressing what they have learned. Consider varying the complexity of activities to accommodate individual differences. Always include open-ended questions to stimulate thinking and problem solving. Plan activities that cater to both groups and individuals to meet diverse needs. Make sure that all the activities are safe and materials are accessible to all children. Integrating sensory experiences can support learning for all ages. Consider how each activity can be scaffolded to accommodate learners with varying abilities. By keeping activities age appropriate, you maximize engagement and learning outcomes. Books and literacy are essential components of theme-based planning. Choose books that align with your theme to reinforce concepts and vocabulary. Reading aloud introduces children to new words and ideas within a meaningful context. Encourage discussion by asking open-ended questions about the story. Invite the children to make connections between the book and their own life experiences. Storytelling and dramatization help children internalize concepts and practice language skills. You can incorporate songs or poems related to the theme to make learning more engaging. Pair literacy activities with art or dramatic play for deeper connections. Books also provide opportunities to discuss feelings, relationships, and problem solving. Use picture books to stimulate conversation and critical thinking. Allow children to retell stories in their own words to develop narrative skills. Integrating literacy supports cognitive, language, and social emotional development. These books make your theme richer and more engaging. Math concepts can be integrated naturally into theme-based activities. For example, counting farm animals, sorting shapes, and creating patterns can be connected to a farm theme. Measuring and comparing objects helps children understand size and quantity. Graphing can be introduced by tracking favorite animals or activities. Math learning is most effective when it is connected to real-world experiences and play. Children can practice problem solving while cooking, building, or exploring materials. Use manipulatives like blocks, counters, or natural items to make math more hands-on. Incorporate math vocabulary such as more, less, taller, and shorter. Math activities can be group-based or individualized. Encourage children to explain their thinking and strategies when using math materials. Integrating math supports cognitive development and critical thinking. Theme-based math is engaging because it connects concepts to the world children know. It also builds a strong foundation for future learning. Science fits naturally within themes. Encourage children to observe, explore, and ask questions about their world. Hands-on experiments help children see cause and effect in action. For example, a weather theme could include measuring rainfall or observing clouds. Allow children to make predictions and test their ideas through simple experiments. Use natural materials whenever possible to help children connect with their environment. Discuss results and encourage children to explain what they observed. Science activities can also incorporate math skills such as counting, measuring, or comparing. Encourage curiosity through trial and error. Integrating science into themes supports cognitive, language, and fine motor development. Observation and documentation are important for assessment of these skills. Theme-based science makes learning fun and encourages lifelong inquiry. This approach helps children develop critical thinking and reasoning skills. Creative arts are a part of theme-based planning as well. Art, music, drama, and movement enable children to express their ideas in unique and creative ways. For example, a community helpers theme could include drawing pictures of firefighters or acting out different roles. Art activities support fine motor development through activities such as cutting, gluing, or painting. Music and movement enhance gross motor skills and rhythm awareness. Drama and role play encourage social emotional development and empathy. Creative arts help children explore concepts in a hands-on, engaging way. Incorporating the arts encourages imagination and problem solving. Art activities also provide opportunities for collaboration and sharing. Art experiences also reinforce literacy, math, and science in a fun, interactive way. Always provide choice in creative expression to allow children to personalize their learning. Integrating arts strengthens connections between learning domains and supports overall development. Dramatic play and role play are natural extensions of theme-based learning. Children can act out roles related to the theme, such as doctors, chefs, or shopkeepers. This supports imagination, creativity, and problem solving. Role-playing also helps children practice social emotional skills such as cooperation, empathy, and turn-taking. It reinforces theme concepts by allowing children to experience situations firsthand. For example, a grocery store theme can teach counting, sorting, and vocabulary while children pretend to shop and sell items. Providing props and costumes encourages engagement and authenticity. Teachers can guide play with scenarios and allow child-led exploration. Dramatic play also strengthens communication and language skills. Observing children during role play offers valuable insights into their understandings and daily lives. Incorporate reflection by asking children to share what they learned or how they solved any of the problems. This type of play makes learning meaningful, memorable, and fun. Outdoor play is an important part of theme-based learning. Movement games can be connected to a theme, such as acting out animal movements or transportation races. Nature exploration allows children to observe plants, insects, or weather. Sensory experiences, such as digging, water play, or sand activities, support both learning and motor development in a thematic context. Outdoor activities encourage gross motor skills, coordination, and spatial awareness. Outdoor time reinforces concepts from indoor activities, creating a well-rounded learning experience. For example, a garden theme could include planting seeds and measuring growth over time. Incorporate observation and discussion to connect experiences to learning objectives. Outdoor activities also help children release energy and develop focus. Integrating movement and nature makes hands-on learning active and fun. Assessment is an important part of daily curriculum planning. Observation enables teachers to observe how children interact with activities and concepts. Documentation can include photos, notes, or checklists to capture learning progress and track outcomes. Portfolios with children's work samples help track skill development over time. Reflection is key. Consider what children learned and how they applied the concepts. Assessment should always be ongoing, not just at the end of a theme. Use your observations to plan next steps or extend the learning. Always involve children by asking them to reflect on their learning experiences. Assessment can be informal through conversations and storytelling. Ensure that you connect the assessment to your learning objectives. Use what you learn to adjust future lessons and themes. Theme-based assessment provides a holistic view of children's development. This approach ensures learning is meaningful, measurable, and individualized. Displaying and documenting children's work is a powerful tool in theme-based learning. It reinforces the concepts children are exploring and celebrates their achievements. Displays could include artwork, writing samples, photos of activities, or thematic projects. Rotate displays regularly to keep the environment engaging. Documentation also helps communicate learning to families and caregivers. Families can see how children are growing and what they are exploring in the classroom. It encourages home connections and follow-up conversations. Displaying work supports children's self-esteem and pride in their learning. It also provides opportunities for reflection and discussion with peers. Consider creating a portfolio or a learning wall for each theme. Documentation allows teachers to assess progress and plan future activities. A well-documented theme enriches the classroom environment and deepens learning. Inclusive planning ensures all children can fully participate in theme-based activities. Consider children's abilities, learning styles, and cultural backgrounds when selecting themes. Adapt activities to meet individual needs, such as providing larger writing tools or visual supports. Include materials and images that reflect diversity. Offer choices so every child can engage in a way that feels comfortable and meaningful. Encourage cooperative play and peer support. Provide scaffolding for children who require additional support while promoting their independence. Themes should allow every child to succeed and feel valued. Inclusion promotes social emotional growth and empathy. Involving families can also provide insight into cultural relevance and extend the scope of thematic opportunities. Thoughtful planning creates a classroom where all children feel a sense of belonging. Family collaboration is an important part of theme-based learning. Share upcoming themes and activities with families through newsletters or communication apps. Encourage families to engage with the theme at home by reading related books or exploring relevant topics. Invite families to contribute materials, ideas, or expertise. Encourage feedback from families about what engages their children or ideas for future themes. Family involvement reinforces learning and strengthens the home-school connection. Collaboration also provides insight into children's experiences outside of school. It can help you plan themes that are culturally relevant and meaningful. Highlight children's accomplishments and projects to families. Ask families to share photos or stories of home activities related to the theme. Open communication ensures families feel included in their child's learning journey. Collaboration builds a strong learning community that supports children's growth. Learning centers are a key way to implement theme-based activities. Each center should reflect the theme and allow children to explore independently or in small groups. For example, a construction theme could include a block center, dramatic play tools, and building-related books. Rotate materials regularly to keep centers engaging and provide fresh learning opportunities. Include literacy, math, science, and art activities in centers whenever possible. Centers should be organized and accessible to all children. Provide clear instructions or visual supports so children can use materials successfully. Offer both structured and open-ended experiences in each center. Centers allow children to practice problem solving and social emotional skills. They also provide opportunities for observation and informal assessment. Well-planned centers enhance engagement and reinforce theme concepts effectively. Extending themes across multiple days or weeks deepens learning. Each day, build on what children explored previously. Introduce new concepts gradually to maintain interest and avoid overwhelming children. Revisit previous activities to reinforce understanding. You can offer new challenges or experiences to encourage continued exploration. For example, a weather theme could begin with observing clouds, then move to measuring rainfall, and finally creating weather charts. Keep activities connected to the central theme to maintain focus. Use recurring stories, songs, or props to strengthen connections. Extension allows children to develop mastery of content over time. Maintaining engagement across days ensures learning is meaningful and sustained. Scaffolding is an essential teaching strategy in theme-based learning. It involves providing support as children learn new skills or explore concepts. For example, you might guide a child through sorting objects during a farm theme before allowing them to do it independently. You gradually reduce assistance as children become more confident and skilled. Scaffolding helps children stretch their abilities without feeling frustrated. It encourages them to problem solve independently and develops critical thinking. When teachers ask open-ended questions, it prompts children to think deeply and explain their reasoning. Use visual supports or modeling to clarify instructions. Celebrate small successes to build children's confidence and motivation. Scaffolding is flexible and responsive to individual needs. Through scaffolding, children gain independence while mastering new skills within the thematic context. Inquiry-based learning aligns perfectly with themes. Asking open-ended questions invites children to think, explore, and express ideas. For example, during a garden theme, what do you think will happen if we water this plant every day? This type of questioning promotes curiosity and investigation. Encourage children to make predictions and test their ideas through hands-on experiences. Inquiry supports critical thinking. It also encourages children to listen to others and discuss different perspectives. Inquiry-based approaches make learning an active and child-centered experience. Teachers act as facilitators rather than giving all the answers. Promoting inquiry helps children develop independence and confidence in their own thinking. Inquiry strategies can be incorporated into art, literacy, math, and science activities. Children become active participants in their own learning. Repetition and routines are powerful tools for reinforcing learning. Young children benefit from repeated exposure to concepts, vocabulary, and skills. Repetition helps children remember and internalize information. Integrate routines into thematic activities such as a daily weather chart or a calendar activity. Consistency provides comfort and confidence, allowing children to focus on learning rather than uncertainty. Repetition also supports language development as children hear and use new vocabulary. Routines help structure the day and create predictable learning experiences. They also provide opportunities to scaffold learning through familiar activities. Repetition encourages mastery while allowing children to explore variations. For example, reading a theme-related story each day reinforces concepts and vocabulary. Integrating repetition and routines ensures learning is meaningful and retained. Children thrive in environments that balance consistency with creativity. Differentiation ensures all children can access and benefit from thematic activities. Offer multiple entry points so children can engage at their own level. For example, a transportation theme could include simple sorting for some children and building a map for others. Adapt complexity, materials, or support based on children's abilities. Provide visual supports, manipulatives, or step-by-step instructions when needed. Offer open-ended options to allow children to explore in ways that match their interests and strengths. Differentiation promotes confidence and independence. It also encourages peer learning, as children can share strategies to support one another. Differentiating within themes ensures all children are challenged and successful. It creates a classroom environment where every child feels capable. By planning for variation, teachers create learning environments that are both inclusive and effective. Differentiation also supports social emotional growth by respecting each child's abilities. Reflection is a critical part of effective theme-based planning. After implementing theme activities, evaluate what worked well and what could have been improved. Consider the children's engagement, understanding, and skill development. Reflect on whether learning objectives were met and how activities supported multiple domains. Identify successes to replicate in future themes. Recognize challenges and brainstorm solutions or adaptations. Reflection can be on your own or collaborative with your colleagues. Reflection ensures that planning is intentional and responsive. It also supports your professional growth and continuous improvement. By reflecting on your practice, teachers can create increasingly effective and meaningful learning experiences. Reflection strengthens both teaching and children's learning outcomes. Even with careful planning, challenges can arise in theme-based learning. Managing transitions between activities can be difficult if children are deeply engaged in play. Plan smooth transitions with clear cues and routines. Engaging all learners is another common challenge. Utilize differentiation, small group instruction, and scaffolding to support diverse learning needs. Balancing flexibility and structure is important. Too much structure can stifle creativity, while too little can lead to chaos. Observe children closely to anticipate potential challenges and adapt accordingly. Be prepared with backup activities or materials. Encourage problem solving and collaboration among children to handle challenges independently. Reflections on what caused any difficulties helps improve your future planning. Remember, challenges are opportunities for growth and learning. Flexibility, observation, and reflection are key to overcoming obstacles. Approach challenges with a positive mindset and a problem-solving attitude. Celebrating children's learning is essential in theme-based education. Recognize achievements in a visible and meaningful way. Share children's work and accomplishments with peers and families. This could include displays, portfolios, or special presentations. Celebrations build confidence and reinforce the value of effort and learning. Encourage children to reflect on what they enjoyed and what they learned. Provide opportunities for peer acknowledgement and feedback. Celebrations can be informal or part of a structured event. Use recognition to motivate children for future learning experiences. Highlight creativity, collaboration, problem solving, and outcomes. Celebrating learning strengthens social emotional development and engagement. Children feel valued and supported when their work is acknowledged. Integrating celebration into theme-based learning makes the process joyful and meaningful. It is important to connect themes to curriculum standards. Align all activities with learning objectives to ensure children are developing targeted skills. Check the Kentucky Early Childhood Standards to ensure compliance and intentionality. Mapping activities to standards ensures cognitive, social emotional, language, and physical development are addressed. Use assessment data to confirm that learning goals are being met. Standards alignment also supports communication with families and administrators. Thematic activities should integrate multiple domains while meeting developmental benchmarks. This provides structure without limiting creativity. Reflection and documentation help track progress towards standards. Aligning themes with standards ensures learning is intentional and measurable. It also enhances the credibility and rigor of your program. Standards should guide planning while showing flexibility for child-led exploration. Successful theme-based planning relies on observation and responsiveness. Watch what children are interested in and adapt themes to their curiosity. Planning ahead ensures materials and activities are ready but remain flexible for unexpected opportunities. Collaboration with colleagues can provide new ideas, resources, and support. Utilize peer feedback to enhance lessons and share effective practices. Keep a record of successful themes and activities for future use. Always reflect on your teaching and children's engagement regularly. You can attend professional development sessions to learn new strategies and methods. Ensure inclusiveness in all planning and materials. Communication with families enhances the relevance and engagement of the theme. You can utilize resources such as books, online materials, and community connections to enhance and enrich themes. These professional strategies make theme-based learning effective and sustainable. Let's look at some examples of themes you could use in your classroom. Community helpers could include learning about firefighters, doctors, and mail carriers through role play, books, and art. Animals and habitats allows exploration of animal characteristics, environments, and sounds through observation and creative activities. Seasons and weather can be used to study changes in the environment, measurement, and seasonal celebrations. Transportation provides opportunities to count vehicles, explore maps, and act out different modes of travel. Each of these themes can be expanded across multiple domains. Activities can include literacy, math, science, creative arts, and dramatic play. Themes can also be adapted to suit children's interest or local context. Consider combining themes for extended projects or investigations. Use your observations to guide the depth and complexity of the theme. These examples demonstrate the flexibility and engagement that theme-based planning can offer. Keep a variety of themes ready to maintain interest and excitement. Themes also help children connect learning to their everyday lives. The next few slides include a sample lesson plan for a fall unit. There are also recommendations for assessment, and all of the activities are tied to the Kentucky Early Childhood Standards. This slide provides an outline for signs of fall. The learning objective is that children will recognize signs of fall and use descriptive vocabulary. Materials needed are fall leaves, baskets of pumpkins and acorns, chart paper, crayons, paint, and paper. You also notice that during circle time, the activity is to explore a basket of fall items and then chart the children's observations. A recommended book is We're Going on a Leaf Hunt. Ask prediction questions. The process art activity is leaf stamping with paint. Children explore textures, colors, and patterns without a predetermined outcome. The math and science activity is to sort leaves by color and size, or count how many are in each pile. And the movement activity is leaf yoga. Here's another option if you're doing a fall or autumn activity plan. Notice that there are at-home ideas added to each of these plans. Here is a pumpkin themed activity plan. You'll notice that each of the activities are tied to the Kentucky Early Childhood Standards. Fall weather is another option for this activity plan. Harvest and fall foods can be added to this activity plan. Theme-based lesson planning is a powerful approach for preschool education. It engages children, integrates multiple domains, and connects learning to real-world experiences. Themes support cognitive, social-emotional, language, and physical development. Themes foster creativity, curiosity, problem-solving, and collaboration. Selecting meaningful themes and planning thoughtful activities is the key to success. Incorporating learning centers, literacy, math, science, arts, and movement ensures overall development. Assessment, documentation, and reflection enable you to monitor progress and refine your practice. Including families strengthens connections and reinforces learning at home. Flexibility and responsiveness allow children to explore in meaningful ways. Differentiation ensures that all children can participate and succeed. Celebrating learning builds confidence and motivation. By using these strategies, theme-based planning becomes an engaging, effective, and joyful way to support preschoolers' growth.